Yeah, the recruiting has really changed for Indiana, Rob. Obviously, the last 4 years were one thing, and now there has been a massive change at Indiana with the coaching change, Mike Woodson and staff, and it's like I can't express the change because it's like they've gone from having a JUCO staff to having an NBA staff, and I'm not kidding. It is seriously like that. I mean, I can't make a better analogy, and the recruiting is showing that, and I think the play is going to show that. I think the player development will show that. I think that the best job that he's ever going to get again is as a JUCO coach. But anyway,
tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, Jim. Come on, man.
I never shied away from it. I think it was fraudulent, just totally fraudulent. But yeah, it's going to be exciting because, man, they've got so many different, and then they just brought in another guy who's got 50 years. Everyone was talking about the youth movement earlier. I see too old. You just keep bringing in older people that know stuff. I played golf with John Leskowski a week ago, who's 68. He shot a 77. Now, what does that have to do with coaching basketball? Nothing. But what it tells me is, dude ain't lost nothing. So why does it? I don't care if somebody is 68 and they're coaching. I got news for you. They lost nothing. They've just gained. They know 10 times more than you're ever going to know, probably. So that youth thing or the older thing is just funny to me.
Well, yeah, I'll be completely honest with you. When he got hired, I was a little bit worried about it, but I'll tell you what put it to bed. I think everybody knew that Woodson is a hell of a coach. He's got an NBA pedigree. I never had a question, can this guy coach? I think some people had some questions with, does this guy want to recruit at this level? And he comes in, and the first thing he does is lands Tamar Bates, which is not easy. That's not a kid where you walk in and you just win that battle by walking into Indiana. You have to work to win that battle. As soon as he won that battle, I was like, oh, crap, this guy's for real. He's going to recruit. And that's why I think he answered those questions right away. I think winning that Tamar Bates battle was so important just to make a statement for this is what this program is going to be under Mike Woodson. They are going to recruit at a very high level. They're going to out-recruit some major programs. And I think it was nice to make that statement right away. And I think that kind of put some of those doubts to bed pretty quickly.
I think and this may have had nothing to do with it, but I'm just thinking for younger minds, for 17, 18-year-old minds, Charlie, when Julius Randle, right off the bat, when he went and visited Julius up in New York, and Julius took his jersey off the middle of the floor and signed it and gave it to him, because that was right at the beginning.
Right.
I think that right there, him showing that respect, they're like, oh, wow, this dude, if they didn't know who he was, they're like, oh, man, this dude's got cred. So that also just immediately – I think put a lot of that stuff to bed, and man, they're off and running.
Well, I think I've said this numerous times, and I'll say this in Rob. I think it's really good for younger players to have older coaches, because there is a slight respect, fear that's needed. Not saying it wasn't there at IU before, but it seems like some things kind of got run amok in the program. Also, I think there's going to be a high level of respect factor because let's not forget he was a great college basketball player, and he averaged really good numbers. So he knows what it takes on that same floor. He played 11 years in the league. He coached over 18, 20 plus years. So his vast experience at every step of the way, playing through injuries, bad back, scoring the ball, all these things he can share. But most important, his transparency is what people are going to be really attracted to. As Tamar said, I want to become a better person, and he said he's going to do that. He didn't guarantee me playing time, and I like that. And I think, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. But
I'm just going to say that's funny you've said that because he said the same thing, and he has done that with the media.
I mean,
he has done that with the media already.
An older coach, again, who has plenty of experience of disappointment, being there for players. Again, one of my mentors said to me, when my players hurt, Division I head coach, I hurt. That's what you want. You want somebody caring for you. That's good in a relationship that's going to build you up as to the young man you want to be in life.
And Rob, you're out there with these kids just constantly all summer, and you see them and how they're recruited and who's recruiting them, and how the recruiting has changed, and it has changed in the last 5 years. It's hard to believe, but it is. There's always a metamorphosis, it seems. But that style, I mean, I know you probably have not spent a lot of time around Mike Woodson, but that style that Charlie just talked about, I think is having and will have a huge impact for Indiana or any team that has something like that.
Yeah, and the other, this is something that I'm sure has been discussed ad nauseum. Is a lot of these kids want a coach that's been where they're trying to go. I mean, it's a part of the season where Juwan Howard is so successful. It's not the whole reason, but Juwan Howard's got an NBA pedigree, a successful one as both a player and an assistant coach. And Mike Woodson can point to those same things. And I am out there with these kids all summer. When you talk to them about what they're looking at the school, if it's not first, it's second. When you ask them about Penny Hardaway. That's a lot of the allure there, too. They want a guy that's been in the NBA, that knows what it takes to make it in the NBA. And Mike Woodson can boast that,